In today's video, I am going to be showing you the 5-out offense against different zone defenses, and I'm going to explain how even the most basic zone play or basic 5-out plays work extremely well against zones. Really quickly, if you want the complete guide to the 5-out offense, make sure to go check out the link that is down in the description below. But also, make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that can stop a ton of different offenses, including some of these, and will double the low post and trap the corners while not leaving any players open. Let's get down and let's check out these plays. So this first play is going to be a drive and kick play. Now, why does the drive and kick work? Well, I'm going to explain that right now. So let's say, for example, we have a 3-2 zone defense that we need to beat. One easy way that you can beat a defense is by getting the ball into the paint and by attacking the gaps in the zone. Because in a zone, there's gaps that overlap so that when you attack a gap, you are going to collapse multiple players. Now, just a side note really quick, this is a really short, funny story. I run a man-to-man defense where we leave our partners or leave the players that we are guarding if the ball is going up the sideline so that we can trap the sideline. I was told last year, roughly about a year and a half ago now, where I was told to stop running man-to-man and to go into a zone so that we wouldn't double team the other team because we were beating them by almost 100 points. Now, clearly that person doesn't know what a zone defense is. The whole idea is to double team in the gaps. However, let's continue with this video. I just really wanted to share with you and just for people to understand that a zone is meant to double team. So anytime there is a double team, they try to close that gap, there's always going to be a player open. They may have players who shift like this, but there's always going to be a player who is open. And if this player just so happens to be a very good three-point shooter, guess who's going to be taking that three? Now, the best part is if, let's say, you've got a really good, fast player who can attack that gap and he gets through that gap and he now draws a secondary line of players. So now he's collapsed essentially 3 players. Or potentially 2 players. You can now have players like player 2 who could cut baseline off ball, who could be wide open for that layup. Now, because you got that ball into the paint, it collapses the defense. So you could have a pass down here. That's going to force player 4 over. You can kick that ball out. That's going to then strand the defense. They're going to be now at this point not knowing what to do. Extra pass, 3-point shot. So, by teaching your team a simple drive, kick, swing, basketball play, that simple play right there can beat a ton of zones as long as you've got a fast guard or a fast player who is able to get that ball into the paint. Pass and cut is also another fantastic option, and now you're probably wondering, why would this even be an option? Well, let's get the defense back out. So by passing the ball over here, obviously these players were here. Player 4's got to shadow player 5 until player 1 gets over. So after this pass, player 1 cuts as fast as possible. Now because player 4 has to shadow, player 5 could make a pass to player 2. Player 2 is wide open, but now look what's happening. Player 1 is wide open. This could be a layup. If player 5 cuts that off, obviously the defense is now shifting. Player 1 could take a dribble, hammer pass out to player 3. Now the whole defense now needs to shift over to guard their spots. Player 3 could have a wide open 3-point shot. If they recover fast enough, all these players are going to be moving up because player 1 passed to this side. Player 1 now needs to clear out to this side. Everyone moves up. That's bringing player 3 up with him. Now, because player 1 cut this way because he passed over here initially, guess what? Player 1 could be wide open for that 3-point shot. Now the defense is shifting. Player 5 needs to shadow. Player 3 needs to get back over there. Player 3 cuts. He could be wide open. This could be a layup. If he's not open, this is now collapsing the defense yet again. Kick the ball out. Open 3. Defense is shifting. Defense has to shift over. Defense has to shift over. While they're shifting over, guess what? We may have some open drive lanes. There's a lot of different options. You always want to be able to read that defense and attack those gaps. Pass, cut, layups, simple stuff can really beat a zone defense really easily. Now you may be saying I'm over exaggerating how the defense is going to go. Well, guess what? If you can get that ball into the paint, kick it out, get the ball back into the paint, kick it out, paint, kick, paint, kick, paint, touch, kick, over and over and over again, guess what's going to happen? That defense is not going to know where they're supposed to be. They're going to be scrambling everywhere, just trying to shadow and then get back to their spot and shadow and get back to their spot, until a point where it's just going to be either a wide open layup or an absolutely wide open test the air three. Like, this is one of the easiest ways that you can beat a zone defense. Now, a really fun play that I like to run is this one, where we'll pass over to this one of the two wings. Player 4 needs to shadow until player 2 gets over there. Player 1 is going to cut to the basket. Player 2 is going to set that screen on player 4. Now, when player 1 pops out, we're going to pass player 1 that ball, and it should be an open three-point shot. Player 2 is then going to roll towards the basket. The defense is going to shift yet again. If player 1 didn't have that initial shot open, player 2 is going to set that back screen on player 4's man. Player 4 is going to then cut to the rim. When he gets that pass, he now is in a one-on-one situation against the other team's center. This is going to collapse the defense. If he can take one dribble into the middle of the key, if he doesn't have the opportunity to score, he can kick that ball out. Player 2 resets, player 1 resets, player 4 kicks out. Player 5 could have the 3. If they recover fast enough, he could make the extra pass to player 3. This could be a 3. If not, then everyone recovers. And then we can set a back screen again for player 5 on this side, and 5 would then be cutting to the basket. He could go one-on-one against player 5, or take a dribble in, kick it out, and then move the ball once again. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below. And of course, check out my unbeatable basketball zone defense book that is down in the description as well. And I'll see you guys again in my next video.